Divine greetings, entities, energies, lovelies, bodies of light, seekers and sojourners of truth, the 144, chosen of the chosen few. You all know who you are. I greet you in the love that lights the truth from my heart to yours. I'm Celestial Earth, in this divine energy essence of it all, reporting to you live from dimension number 5 on our day of the full moon, a super new moon, full moon in Taurus, that is reminding us of the beauty that is within. Ashe. This is not the full moon video, however. It is very in alignment, very much so in alignment with the message that I'm going into, which is message to the people, message to the Jamaican people, my people, land of my ancestry, land of everything that I am connected to, and so many who are also connected. Even though you may not be born there, a lot of people connect to it. So if you care about Jamaica, it's from Jamaica, for Jamaica, it is now that I ask that we stand together, right? And not just because it's Jamaica, because all over the world we're all being affected, but the eye, just like the eye of the storm went over Jamaica, the eye is on Jamaica. All eyes are on Jamaica. So with that, I want to speak a little bit, give even some insights of what's happening on the ground. We're seeing a lot all over the place. TikTok, left, right, center. It's bringing up a lot. And I want to stay grounded and rooted in compassion as I speak to you now on the message, the spiritual message that was even shown to me, and the message to the people of where do we go from here? How do we take ourselves to the next level? And it is with that I take a moment, a breath of life, a breath that bridges us in life, the breath of life. And if you will, with me, deep breath in, we cross that bridge together. And I want to say that it is through gratitude, an attitude of gratitude, that is going to take us a long way. Gratitude stabilizes the chaos. Even though it may be hard to see it at this time. Some may say, well, with all this going on, how do we? But those of you who are spiritually inclined, which most of you that do see this channel, we know what time it is. We know that it is time for us to really step up and stabilize in the frequencies. And this is the message that I want to bring to, with also some truths of what's happening inside on grounds, and what you can do to help. And as I said before in a previous video, that I am taking donations. It's in the description, the email. You can Zelle to the email, and we are aiming, our goal is to get it directly to the people inside where it's not really getting to, right? They're getting food handed out. Yes, you're seeing all of that, but there's another layer behind the scenes that people aren't seeing, if you know what I mean. And so I say this to you with compassion for the collective, because I do see and hear a lot going on, and there's a lot of truths on both sides, but this is about harmony. Harmonizing the dualities and not leaning too far to one end and being led astray, and coming out of the love frequency. Yes, there's videos where some are saying that it should be done, it's time, it's devastation, and it's true to a certain extent. Those of us who know the spiritual attacks on that island, there are some of us who have been spiritually working, doing our spiritual work, doing the work of our ancestors, and really doing what we can in the light grid through the ley lines across that land. And there is a thick film over that land. So yes, there is corruption. There is a lot. I mean, there's corruption in a lot of places, but those who know there's a heavy set of corruptions, particularly in the government. And I want to say, with everything that I'm saying, I'm pointing out to some things that are true in the 3D realm, in the 3D world. However, it is not to harp on it. I really want to keep us in the place of compassion for the collective, compassion for others who don't see. And when I say compassion, I don't mean feel sorry for or sympathy. I mean keeping your heart in the love frequency and without judgment, knowing what is different, knowing where they are, but not casting judgment. However, able to discern with good judgment what is true. And so I say that with the understanding of what is going on with my people. Let me explain the people. They are a loving people, and I've heard these all kind of, they are loving people, they're kind, and just like you have good, you have bad. And there is a lot of bad, there's a lot of good. But what holds it back is the bad that doesn't want to release the grips off of that island. And I mean energetically. There are energetic holds and binds on that island that seeps through people's minds, and they're all grabbing for what they want. And Jamaica has a thing of piratism, and I've talked about it before. While I was in Jamaica, I experienced it. I've experienced the attacks. Those of you who are like myself, who are even from there, when you come back there and you're doing your work, you know you're under attack, especially if your light is at a certain potency. Those opposition energies do not want you there, and you will see it. And so there is piratism, there is scamming, and I must say this, even for those Jamaicans that mean well or say they have a scam mentality subconsciously spinning in the back of their mind, a what can you do for me type of thing. I'll do this, but how can you do for me? And that's why some of you hear stories about even people in there who are charging people for regular, let's just say life, just to charge their phone. If they happen to have a battery charger, and the neighbor or somebody wants to charge their phone, they're charging them. And these are people who have lost everything. So the integrity is also gone out the window. So what I have to say is I implore my people to stay in a place of gratitude, to stay in a mind state of abundance. This is an opportune time to change your minds. And a lot of times we don't change unless things happen. A lot of people are not going to see the truth of the government until they see the truth of the government. There are people that are circulating a lot of things, and I don't want to go into the rabbit hole of anything, but we can. But things of the storm not being real, things like that, and that may very well be the case. But I'm not here to argue that. I'm looking at the divine alignment and the divine assignment, and allowing the universe to do what must needs be done. And unfortunately, some are going to be the sacrifices of that. Some have already been the sacrifices of that. So let them not be sacrificed in vain. By doing what? Change your minds. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. So I'm asking the people to ask yourself, this is a time to look at the man in the mirror, to look at the part that you play in it. Now, are you okay with changing your mind about how you invest in the government and the politicians? And this is not an anti-government rant either. This is to show us how to step out of the box. This is an opportunity where we now see that when put in certain positions, can you now see what's happening and what's not happening, so that you can expand your consciousness and step out of the box of way you may normally do things. And I say that for someone who has been there many times, and in situations where you have to live without light, you have to live without things. We have to learn to live. I wouldn't say have to learn to live without, but when we don't have certain comforts, we don't spiral into chaos in our minds. All right? Perspective. Are you able to step out of the box and open your perspective to say, I don't have to sit in this box. I don't have to take this just because they said so. Right? Some are waiting on things to happen to them in the ways that they normally happen. And this is where we are being asked to stretch and step out of that. You don't have to stay there waiting on help if you can be mobilized. even with your feet. And I know some people may not, some people may really need help to move it along. This is not a blanket to cover over anybody's experience. I'm using examples from what I see, that the island has an opportunity to be the leaders in time as we expand the consciousness in our mind, while all eyes are on Jamaica. And a lot of us who are not, maybe not even there, or are stabilizers for the ones that are there, this is where you have to optimize your frequencies. And now I want to get into, what do I mean by show a different perspective? Well, usually people are there waiting on relief, waiting on something on the outside, when you can step out. And someone asked me, like, what would you do? You have your children with you, and if you were in that area and you have absolutely nothing, I'm the type of person where I'm going to start walking. I'm just going to keep walking, because if you lost everything, what do you have to lose? You have nothing else to lose. So you just keep walking, and you let the divine lead you to the next and the next and the next. It will lead you to the right place, to the right person. But you have to pick up your bed and walk. You have to pick up what you have embedded with and walk. And every step of the way, release what no longer serves you. Right? So that's just one of the examples I'm given. If you can, get up and walk out of there, leave everything behind, and just continue moving. That's just an example. I'm not saying everybody can do that. Again, love and comfort goes out to all those in the situation they're in. However, we have to start to open our minds to see what else can we do. The next thing is, we're waiting on food to come in, like from outside places, like a barrel being sent in, and that's good too. All help helps, and I appreciate all help, as I'm sure those who are getting it appreciate it. But there are some that where you can do something different. So for example, bill for bill, let me just call it what it is. So this brings me to what it is that I'm generating, and others like me, because I've heard others. So I was like, I know I'm not alone when I got this insight, when I got the hit on this. All right, you can bill. And these are people in Jamaica. Why wait on food out there when there's stores in Jamaica? Supplies are there, but you're waiting. Sometimes these companies are waiting on something else. They're waiting on money. They're waiting. It's like, the situation. So you can build a rapport. Some of you on the outside, like myself, that's what I'm doing. Build a rapport, find a contact with some retailer over there. And instead of sending money to charity, send the funds to them, and have someone that reputable that that can go there and pick it up and bring it into those places where everyone is not going, where the cameras are not going and the cameras are not showing. And believe me, it's very devastating in even those areas. If you think you see devastation on the news, there's more. And as one man said, when the internet goes back up, everyone is going to be in even more shock, because they're in there seeing what is there. They have bodies that are still in houses, and no one is going in to take those bodies. And I know you may hear a lot of things like, oh, well, they couldn't get through the Rose Day. That's a lie at this point. This is a week later. Okay, a week later, exactly 1 week later. I could see the first day they might have had problems getting into certain areas. By the second day, that is, you should be able, you have the wherewithal to do it. So they'll do what they say they can do. So I say that so we just understand the situation. There's food being handed out, but there are people there who still are without a roof, without walls. And where do they go when they need to go? So there's other materials that they need. So there are things that we're packaging to get to them, and get to people over there with materials that can, we create a bill with them, BILL, like bill for build. So I'll speak more about that, but I wanted to convey this in the way that the best way that I can, because obviously there's more, and it's like Spirit is highlighting. Don't, I have to be careful on how I say what I see, right? And what I saw, let me say this with the vision I got with the storm. And I spoke of how I had a dream the night of the storm, and there was this cyclone that I was seeing, and I spoke about it, whether it was a live or a video, on how it was highlighting to me that what I see is like what some of us see, everybody can't see that electrical charge, that storm that is harnessing the electromagnetic frequencies between the cosmic messenger, which was pivoting its way around the sun around the same time as Melissa's pivot. And I spoke about that. But that definitely sets a tone and is really allowing Jamaica to take the lead in so many ways. They're, like I said, culturally influenced. But what you do with that now as a people is going to be on you. Has nothing to do with government, has nothing to do with, it's not going to be with them and politicians. They are not the ones that are going to lead the way, because they are the ones that are puppeteering, right? They're the ones that bringing the people down. So it's time for the people to, emancipate themselves out of this mental slavery. And so this storm that I saw, let me get back to that. It was highlighted to me because a lot of people, this storm, it had tornado, the cyclone that I was seeing. This was the meaning that I was getting the fullness more of now, at a less esoteric meaning and a more physically, literal type meaning. It's that there were tornadoes in that storm, which I'm pretty sure some of you noticed by now. Some know, some don't know. A lot of people don't know that tornadoes are inside of hurricanes. Because of the conditions that are in the hurricane, a lot of times some of that damage is by tornadoes, cyclones, complete devastation. The way it even lifts and twists the houses or twists the roofs off the houses. So it's not to be in a debate. What I would like to say as a message is to get us off of the pinning against each other, get us off of the debating on whether it was real or not. What is true, that it's time to change the truth in you. While we're on this full moon, there's a beauty, and I'm looking over because I'm waiting on the full moon to come up. There's beauty to behold. Beauty's in the eyes of the beholder. Yes, there's beauty to behold, and that beauty is the harmonizing tool, the harmonizing agent. This is not aesthetic beauty, because I know it doesn't look beautiful right now. This is beauty that is the truth and goodness of what is. And this is an opportunity for those to make the right decision during this bifurcation time, for those to choose themselves in the higher dimensions and the higher octaves of what's happening right now. And yes, it starts with you. And while all eyes are on Jamaica, it's because it's very influential. For whatever reason, the cosmic messenger has aligned with this particular thing. Even if they created it, what they created is meant for bad, is still meant for good, because it is in good and true alignment with the Earth's geomagnetic field, whether we understand it or not. And in order for there to be enlightenment, this is the next stage of enlightenment, but there has to be a devastation and a destruction of what you once believed in to be true. These are the perspectives that have to change, my people. The way you think about it, even land. You're in a position right now, those of you that are in devastation, this is not a time to worry about, well, I'm on somebody's land, I gotta buy land. No, this is by the people, for the people. This is what someone can do. Is if you are in an area and you have a certain amount of land, this is where, instead of looking at buying, instead of looking at catching, let's look at it like this. The land is for all of us. This entire earth is without borders. There's no truth to borders, although it is very apparent. So, but let me keep it specifically on Jamaica. Remove the concept of, I need to buy this land, I need to buy that, which speaking of that, do not sell your land. Any of you that they're putting offers to, which I was told that offers are already being made. because of the agenda of that new city. Offers are already being made. That damage didn't hit that particular area for no reason. So there are offers being made. And the people of that land need to keep it and say no. And that's why they're leaving some of the bodies there as well. Like, I don't even want to get too deep into the intel of that, because I want us to focus on what can we do. That's the message. Another part of the message is, instead of looking at what I don't have, what I'm not doing, what I can't do, look at what you can do and what you do have. And I'm not just talking about life, like, oh, thank God I have life. That's good and that's true. What's beautiful is, can you see the lesson? Can you see the lesson in the experience? Can you see gratitude? Can you be grateful for the experience that you had? Because now that experience says that I don't have to be bonded to this. I don't have to be in bondage to this anymore. It frees you up. You see, you open up. If I could even paint a picture, yes, it was raining, it was storming, but I hear a lot of people say this too, but when they opened their eyes, all you saw was clear skies. I can see clearly now that the rain is gone. But being able to be grateful for the rain and the storm that has come, because it cleared out. Even though it may not feel so good right now, even though it may be uncomfortable, it's giving you a new slate in your consciousness, in your mind, that you can produce a new slate in your body, in your life, world, and affairs, but you have to choose it. And not looking to just build back what was already there in the way it was. These are the mindsets we want to step out of and come away from. Not looking for a government to build that back for you, but knowing to build somewhere else. If you were in the place where a riverbed was running through, respect the earth, respect the river's flow, and know not to put anything back there, because wisdom teaches, experience teaches wisdom, and through wisdom now you can discern, I don't need to have my house here. I don't need to have my consciousness here. It needs to be moved. And not being blocked with a concept of, well, I don't know what to do, I gotta buy land. Like, I can't tell people how to think, but I'm only sharing the wisdom that I can share, the message as it can't come to me, that we have to break out of these perspectives. They have you boxed in believing that you have to buy land that belongs to you. You are indigenous to the land. And in true liberation, you belong where you stand, in respective places that are outside of the ways of rivers that want to flow in a particular way. So, and what I have to say to those retailers, you have the ability to do more than just sit there and watch and, oh, my people. Some are doing, I'm not saying no one's doing anything, but I see this type of hold and stagnation. And when I bring it to the attention, it's like, oh, that's good. Oh, that's right. We can do that. Yes, we can. And it's going to take ones like myself and like others who may be saying it to bring it to the forefront. Make the step, make the move, make the connection so we can bridge the community. It's going to be by the people, for the people. It's going to take the people to build. But in order for the people to see you are for them, we need to buy the people, which are the retailers, the ones who have the materials, the ones who have the food, to not worry about this right now. To show them that we can live in Dharma. That's the age of the future. That's the real, true new city. Is Dharma for Dharma, service for service. And only when people are put in a bind do they start servicing each other like that, when they're in devastation. What can we learn from it? What can we witness? What can we see? It's things like that. When people are put in a tough situation, now they're willing to live service for service. And it took this devastation for you to see a piece of this Dharma. Let you not forget it, is what I want to say. Lest ye forget. Be in the remembering that you can live in this Dharma, and it doesn't take money. So these people, these retailers that have something, is for you to remove the concept of you need to be paid first. That's another issue that Jamaica has. You can't do anything unless they want to be paid first. And I get it, because colonialism has them in a lock and a desperation. But now it's time to break out of that and show them we don't need that, to be true to each other, to love each other, to stand for each other, for those who can see it. And so those retailers got to remove those blocks and say, if I'm going to be by the people, then I need to be by the people. I need to be for the people. And set up contracts with those who you can, those of you like myself who can reach out. This is how you can do what you can do. Create groups in your own communities that you can pull together some money, some donations, and then make a contact with someone over there and say, hey, just give them what they need and create a bill. Create a bill so we can build. Trust that the abundance is everywhere. Do not do anything with the mind state of lack and limitation. And that's what the people usually do. They're in lack and limitation. And that's what holds them back in stagnation. It's now to uplift and be in a mind state of abundance that lets you see beyond what these two eyes can see, or the lack thereof. It's time for a revolutionary movement that is like any other. Entertainers, I call out to you as well. You are the ones who have the funds that can say, you can go to the retailers because they'll do it off of strength of your name. Go ahead, if so-and-so come, give them this, give them that, bill me. That's the way that we're going to be able to help them, because they need a shelter. And when people's basic needs are met, root chakra, when your basic needs are met, then you can be in a position to now see what's really going on around you and see what has been happening, what has been transpiring, and what you can do next. Not just for survival, but in the upliftment of your state of mind to be able to thrive. So it is with that. There's more on that. I'll say more. There's more I want to share. I'm taking my time with this message because I'm really listening to how Divine wants me to share, but it is going to take the people for the people. My main message is letting us know that we have to be ready to change our minds. This is an opportune time to change your minds. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your minds. It is time to step out the box. Ask yourself, in what ways can I step out of the box in my perspectives? On the full moon, as it's just coming up. Full moon in Taurus. Taurus is the earth sign, everything in the earth. Changing your perspectives of what you feel like you're worth, and stop letting them tell you your values. But you have to know it in order for you to show it. And like I said, this is not something for everybody. Even in the help that I'm not saying I could go out there and help everybody out there, whoever I pulled through to help. It's not a one come all. It's more like whosoever will may come. Because if thy will be done according to thy will, you will be able to see it through and come through. Everyone can't cross that bridge, and that's okay. The help that can be given will still be given to those around you. But for those who can really transcend, this is an opportune time for us to help raise the spiritual vibrations, the positive vibrations, and help those to cross that bridge continue to unfold in their consciousness and see a way out. It's so liberating and free when you can simply be in the truth of your light. Ashe. So with that, is there any other notes that okay, what it is that we're doing in the build for build? I explained billing, looking for those to bill us, and we'll send a donation straight to them. Sending out things like solar powered little mini generators, sending down little bathroom packets. I'm going to be putting together little bathroom on the go packets, because that's something I had to experience when I had no bathroom when I was in Jamaica. And remember, they're without houses, so they're without bathrooms. You know, boards, they need wood and they need zinc. So these are the things. So whatever donations you can give, send it to the Zelle in the description. And as soon as I get a link, because we're putting together the project right now, bill for bill, like I'm giving it to you fresh. It hasn't really taken off yet, and we're speaking to certain people in the areas to know who to take it to, like one family at a time, because you can't do everybody, but one family at a time, and who we can get to. Airbnb people, also calling out to you all, those of you who have Airbnbs, if you know that someone is without a home, especially with children, open your Airbnbs, and you can create a bill for bill, create a bill, and those funds will be able to come to you through those of us who are pulling the funds through donations, through entertainers. If they can get it to be drawn from government funds that they say they send them, then that's another way too. I can only speak for what I can do and what I can share with you of what you can do. Right? So avoid sending to charities where you don't know where those people are not going to see it. Let me be honest with you and show you that reality. For those who are not in Jamaica or not Jamaican, don't think that when you see them sending funds, that is not going to those people, and they will never see it. And we all know that. So with that said, please support whatever way you can in Bill for Bill, and I'll keep you in the loop of what is happening. As I said, bodies are still in there, and there's a lot of needs that are needing to be met right now. Basic needs, root chakra. So we want to build them at the root, at the foundation, and send your love and light. Keep your channels clear, ground, because you can send that through the vibrations of the earth. Believe me, they'll feel it. Imagine yourself touching someone on their shoulder and giving them a hug just in your meditation. Someone who may be sitting there without anything and just thinking that they're unthought of, and you give them that loving thought. Ashe. So with that said, I'm gonna stop right there, and I'll keep you all informed. Please remember to send any donations that you can into the Zelle by utilizing my email, akilahtextri @gmail.com, and I will keep you all in tune. All right, and then I see the leaves like applause. So with that said, love and light to you all. Each one, reach one, teach one. If you don't know where to start in your big, beautiful heart. Shine your light from the inside out, and be the candle that lights the next one, and the next one, and the next one. Peace, love, and light.